He looks terrified. It's fine. It's just like we're getting booted. We're getting booted from this space. We're fine. We're fine for now in this. We're not fine for now. We're like literally like we're permanently done here. Bro, that's so whack. Fight back? What do you mean? I will get evicted forcibly at gunpoint. There's no fighting back. If they say, when someone says you gotta leave this area and like move to a different area, do you know how many Secret Service and like federal agents are here? Like there's no world where I just keep doing this. Are they giving you another place to go? I don't know. And what are we gonna do about our stuff? Why even let you in just to kick you around? Guys, come on. We're at the Democratic National Convention. There's a lot of things that are moving around, okay? There's a lot of moving parts at any given moment. They're not kicking me out of the convention. They're saying that they have to use this space. They wouldn't do this to CNN? Yeah, no shit, they wouldn't do this to CNN, dog. I'm not CNN. What do you mean? The fact that I have CNN level access is already insane. Be for real, okay? I don't even know how I got this level of accommodation to begin with. Tell them your uncle Jank. Your uncle is Jank. Yeah, I'll tell them that. They gave him a worse space than me, so I don't know how that would work. Just kind of whack as you told him you'd want to do it all day. Yeah, I know. I literally said, if I can't do it all day, I won't come in. I will just stream from my hotel room. But it is what it is, okay? It's not their fault. It's out of our hands. It's out of everyone else's hands. Listen. They pushed out Joe Biden. Of course, they'll push me out too, you know? They're kicking us out.
Unlucky.
I don't know why.
Apparently there's a double booking. That might just be an excuse. I don't know.
So I guess at the end of the day, while they do appreciate online influencers, the level of reverence and respect for online influencers is still not exactly up to par with, you know, traditional media, because I doubt that, you know, NBC would be getting kicked out randomly. But now you can tell your colleagues, like, no, I saw the largest online commentator get chucked out with 60,000 people watching. You know, it happens to everybody, is what I'm saying. All right, we're ready to go. Let's let it rip. Shave your mustache like Mike Pillow, yeah. I want to shave my mustache like Michael Pillow and come back in.
Did you see the footage of that?
I did. It was incredible. He got owned by children. How embarrassing.
That 12-year-old kid?
Yeah. That was awesome. I mean, they didn't even take our credentials away. We still have access to this floor. I feel like the worst part about this is like, I feel like a kid that's been naughty. You know what I mean? But you also don't know I also don't know what I've done. And it almost feels like, I mean, it could be any number of different things, you know what I mean? And it's the uncertainty of it all that makes me feel worse about the situation. But I also still feel pretty good, because I never would have imagined getting this level of access to begin with. No worries. Someone is definitely watching the stream, because I literally said, oh, they didn't even take our credentials away.
And then just showed up.
Someone is watching the stream.
But on this theory that they were going to give you the whole thing and then cut it down, you think it's because you said something today they didn't like?
I did compare DNC to Israel. That might have been the final blow, because we got the call like shortly after I tweeted that, because so the Uncommitted campaign wanted to have a Palestinian American speak.
Yeah,
which I think is like a pretty reasonable demand. Like these aren't like random activists. These are like Democratic Party operatives, right? Like they just happen to be Palestinian American, right?
Right.
And Mehdi Hassan said, and Rashida Tlaib as well, confirmed it, that the DNC was like sending out information to the press that like, oh, actually we wanted the Georgian, the Palestinian American from Georgia, Rua, I think her name is?
Yeah.
That she was one of the speakers that they gave to the DNC with like a vetted speech. And then the DNC was apparently, or someone was leaking to the media that like it was the uncommitted movement that didn't want her to speak specifically. which doesn't make any sense because they literally kept presenting her very openly as the person. What?
She's out there with Abbas.
Yeah.
Right?
So Mehdi Hassan tweeted about it and was like, this is bullshit. We know that the uncommitted movement is the ones who actually put forward Ruwa. And I quote tweeted it. I was like, this is like Israel Havra. Like, I don't understand what the DNC is doing. Like, trying to claim that it's not. Oh shit.
What?
AOC stuck behind a motorcade.
Yeah,
It's just that sucks.
so what are you gonna do?
I don't know. I mean, I can get AOC anytime. It doesn't really matter. Like, it would have been cool to do it here, but maybe we just don't do it. Maybe I just cancel it. I don't know. Eden Omar's team hasn't got back to my manager, and we don't have a space. So I'm telling everybody, I'm canceling all of the interviews. You know what I mean, though? Chat and March. Like
that we use the most out of the opportunity.
This is a gimme. Like, this was not supposed to happen at all.
Oh
This
yeah,
is
for sure.
Not even in my wildest imagination would I have thought that we would have access to get into the DNC and like have never in my wildest imagination would I have ever thought that like we would get 4 days of just like being inside of the DNC, getting full-blown access and taking advantage of it all the way. Obviously, like, I'm not a TikToker. I'm not like a YouTuber, which requires a much different kind of lift, right? And it's pretty crazy. I'm surprised it took this long. I don't know. I mean, I think Daniela literally came over to be like, "No, we're not kicking you out."
Yeah.
I think it was like they did it in front of the New York Times. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Like that, do they think that was not gonna like be a part of a story potentially? Like, even congresspersons are having a hard time getting on the floor right now. No, I know. I'm literally talking to Ilhan Omar's team, and they're like, we can't leave. Other congresspersons are not like able to leave they're not able to exit the areas that they're in.
How much of a shit show it is there? I definitely feel a sense of relief leaving.
Yeah. I think we lucked out.
Probably. Dude, if we had stayed to the very end, imagine trying to get out of there.
Oh my God. At first, I was like, this sucks. Because I had mapped the whole thing. But now that we were able to like do a swift exit, it's 8 p.m. By the time we get there, we're going to be able to like easily put that together.
Desktop.
Boom, boom, boom. Desktop stream. I keep going. And this way, I have an early flight out too. I get to I didn't get kicked out of the convention. I just got kicked out of the studio space that they had given me. And they did it in like a very weird way too. They did it literally during an interview that I was conducting with the New York Times about creators for Kamala, which makes it like extra crazy because it literally like that is a story in and of itself. I don't know if the guy will actually write about it or not, but like ultimately it was like a very weird thing to do overall because like they had told me originally that they told me that I was fine. Like they told me that I was fine, like that I had this space, that they had allotted for me, that it was going to start late, but then it turns out it was not fine. Unceremoniously out of nowhere, some super donor probably had you kicked out, so they had a box for their kid to watch Taylor Swift. I don't know how the box situation works, but I mean, I know Beyonce is going to perform. Obviously, like that was known for a while. They guaranteed you the space for the whole day and then kicked you out in a way that completely your schedule. Yeah. But like also the other side of the story is that like, honestly, the other side of the story ultimately is that like, I was never supposed to be at the DNC. You know what I mean? So I'll take it. I'll take all the moments that they gave me and all of the, I will take every aspect that, I'll take all of the access that I got. News already reported on creators being kicked out of their spot. Okay. That's so cute, chat. That's funny. You guys are funny. You did great the whole time. All the booths were empty because Jamie Harrison is a piece of shit and planned awful. The arena got overfilled and shut down by the fire marshal to the point reporters can't get in. So they panicked and kicked out booths/influencers for space. It's why the PAL delegates can't get in too. I've never experienced this as a journalist in my life. The DNC has told security at the United Center that journalists cannot be guaranteed re-entrance into the arena if they get to use the restrooms. Yeah, so that does make sense. That does make sense. That's literally the reason why I left, because Ilhan Omar could not exit the arena. So that made it so that I was like, oh, there's no way I'm going to be able to talk to them. Do you understand? Like that it is like, I'm sure that is part of the reason why I got cooked. It's still whack as but that's why I left. The reason why I left is because I knew that it was chaotic, and I didn't want to be there for that chaos, and that I knew that I was not going to be able to get to see or talk to anyone. Journalists are actually being turned away now. Show press area way over capacity. Just saw Ta-Nehisi Coates get turned away. Yo, it's like, it's real casual like that. Everyone who's like pro-Palestine just accidentally happens to be getting clapped at the DNC. I'm not even kidding. I know it's like, it's not deliberate. It's not by design. I know that they're not doing it on purpose. But it is funny that like anyone who has criticized the DNC on the Palestine front is just like, hey, by the way, sorry, you just can't be in this location. How is that? I don't even think it's on purpose. I think it actually is like overbooked. This Kellyanne Conway got let through a staff door. Well, I guess we don't have that kind of riz, dude. We are not as valuable to the Democratic Party as Kellyanne Conway. Jesus Christ. Dude, I'm Lisan Al-Gaib, baby. Call me Lisan Al-Gaib the way I have the foresight, the way I have the vision.
It's an interesting
Bro,
kind of...
tell me how this wasn't the best move of all time, okay? We were going to be sitting around, thumb up our waiting for an interview that was never going to be able to happen. We were literally going to be in there. Instead, I'm in my sweet hotel room. I get to go to sleep early. I get to react. And I will say this, I wasn't like moderating my position when I was in there. I wasn't like saying anything that I normally wouldn't say. But I will say this, okay? Is bro coping? No, I cannot pay attention. In that room, it was like virtually impossible. It was virtually impossible to pay attention. I think my commentary wasn't as good. You were yourself the whole way and got free interviews out of it. Yeah, I never compromised on my values. I never compromised on my views. But honestly, that was not easy. Like it was. I mean, obviously, I was down to even fuck around to a degree where like I straight up played the Kamala Harris wants to vaccinate your children in the song in front of the DNC handlers that I had. They were like standing in the corner. I mean, they weren't handlers, but they were very nice, to be fair. But I do think it's true, but it does kind of display how out of touch the DNC are with your world and influence. Would they have done that with any mainstream media, possibly with far less reach? No, they would not. But remember, the mainstream media pays for those slots. Like they have to pay for it. So it's a little, I mean, it like that's what the New York Times guy was saying. I would never pay for that. They were kicking everyone out of those booths. You weren't at a permanent press spot. Yeah, I'm sure they just like cleared everybody out. It just sucks. Especially because there was literally another space that I could go to, but they were just like, no, you can't go there. Look, it worked out. Why did they take your credentials? They didn't. I have them still here. They didn't take my DNC credentials. They took my credentials to the floor, to that floor specifically. Right after I said, oh, well, they didn't take our credentials away.